Hi everyone, this is Michal Barkai. Welcome to my studio. I'm a photographer and a painter in oil and pastel, and I wanted to welcome the patrons of the Livingston Public Library here in Livingston, New Jersey, and patrons of the art in general to my studio and small short presentation. I was scheduled to have a work of small work, and by small I mean I would have chosen less than 9 by 12 in the Livingston Library in the glass cabinet, but the library is obviously still closed. So thank you, library, for inviting me to make this presentation. I'll talk a little bit about the different mediums that I am using. These are pastels. They come in form of sticks, whether round or flat or square, and they are used on the tip or on the side and are mixed on paper, as you can see in an example that I tried here before. And oils come in tubes, as you all know. They are not mixed on paper, they are mixed on a palette on the side using either a brush or a palette knife and then transferred to a canvas. Are these pigments the same? Yes, they are. The difference is in the binder. Oil is made using an oily binder, and pastels are binded into those sticks that you've seen using a dry binder. But they are the same, and pastels are very permanent and lasting. The reason why we have so many more sticks in so many varieties of shades and tones and stuff is because we work on paper. Usually it's textured, such as in a sandpaper, and there's only so many layers that the paper can take before the tooth, those ridges, fill up. So pastel artists tend to be collectors of sticks, and we refer to them as candy store, and we really like them. So this is an example of something that I haven't had a chance to frame yet, but maybe it will be in the show next year, maybe not. Early on with this pandemic, we were cut off some parks and arboretums and public gardens, and this was my main source of inspiration as well as my own garden. So I turned into my garden, and these three, for example, are on the right, two painted in my backyard, and the left from life in my studio of the full Cynthia. More recently, I was able to paint at Presby Iris Garden and here in my own garden, an iris. Small paintings that I might have shown are these two, for example, that are framed already, and some of these that I painted in the studio from photograph, and you can see them a little closer. So before I move on and show you some of the other paintings that I've done in our local parks, I wanted to invite you to visit my website and blog and Facebook page and follow up on my process and see what art adventures I'm up to from time to time. So what are some of the parks that I use as inspiration? South Mountain Reservation, for example. This is a refined studio painting made on top of the study that I started on location, both of the same spot, a favorite footbridge. Here is Verona Park, an example of painting that I started on location and then went all the way, doing it very finished, very refined. Some inspiration from Glacier National Park. This was done in the studio. These two water lily ponds were painted on location and never touched again in Reeves Reed Arboretum in Summit. I love that place. There's Branch Brook Park, started on location and touched just a little bit in the studio. Below is Verona Park, another favorite spot, and reflections. Presby Iris Garden, another one of South Mountain Reservation. This one is studio only. And few florals from my garden. So I wanted to thank you for coming, and before we leave, I'll just show you my website, michalbarkai.com, where you can see many of my paintings and photographs when you have the time, and if you wish, of course. You can follow on the process on my blog on WordPress. You can link directly from my website, and you can see, for example, the steps that I took in continuing this plein air from plein air to studio. And you can follow on my current adventures when I go out plein airing. For example, this is last week at Presby Iris Garden. This is my art page on Facebook, Michal Barkai Art. I'm sorry I can't switch between front and back camera, so I'm just showing you the art and not myself, but you can see a photo of me. So thank you for coming, and thank you for watching this video. I do hope you come and visit those website and look at my art and follow my process, and you can call me and contact me through my website, and I'm on the internet if you wanted to ask any questions. And if you enjoyed it, I hope you do. And with that, I will say goodbye and thank you again to the Livingston Public Library for giving me this opportunity to show my art. Thank you and goodbye.